Всем привет! Hello everybody, welcome from Moscow. Now, it's been exactly 1 year since I moved to Moscow. And out of that whole year, other than 2 weeks where I was in Vietnam and Thailand, I've been here in this city that I love. So what I wanted to do is tell you 5 things that I've learned, not just about Moscow, but about life in general since I've lived here. Are we ready? Let's go. Now as we wait for the green man so I can cross the road, could you please take a second to subscribe? We're nearly at 20,000 subscribers. I think I'm about 800 away from that, so I would really love it if you press subscribe, and then you will get updates when my videos are posted. Okay, the first point I want to talk about from my year living in Moscow is the language. Now I'm going to split this into 2. The first part I'm going to talk about is the English language. Do lots of people speak English? Well, I'm going to be brutally honest and say nowhere near as many as would be in other sort of Western European countries. And also, many people may speak English, but maybe they're not overly confident with it. They don't use it a lot, so they don't really want to speak in English with you. Now, you speak in English?
Yes.
Я говорю по-русски.
We speak in English and по-русски.
Я влогер. У меня есть YouTube канал про мою жизнь в России. Какой канал? Это, I'll show you. Scottish guy in Moscow.
Ah, I saw you with
You know-
the
Are you friends with Mike?
You know me?
Joe, are you friends with Joe?
Yes, the American guy.
I saw you at the
Yes.
Scottish bar.
Да, приятно
Douglas.
познакомиться.
We are
Douglas.
friends with Svetlana and with him too.
Svetlana, is that his wife?
Yes.
All right, no, I've not met his wife. Are you American?
Yeah, I'm American.
Ah, right, okay. There we go, I've met lots of people. Are you American? Yeah. Okay, there you go. I've been living.
They did not.
Look at that, we've met some friends already. They've seen my channel. Unbelievable. So I've been living here for 1 year and I'm just doing a little video about what I've learned about living here. Nice to meet you guys.
Where is the Scottish bar that I saw you guys in?
It's closed just now for refurb, but it's called Law and Sons.
Didn't have a dog. He came from America.
Oh, you got a Russian dog?
No, he's
Oh,
American dog.
border collie. Scottish dog.
Ah, it's a
actually.
Scottish dog.
A border collie is Scottish.
What's him, her?
Her.
Her, what's her name?
He's from America, yes.
Yoshka, скажи привет.
Oh,
We're moving here.
yeah, you're going to come here and stay full time?
Yeah.
Wow.
But their flight
Filed for the RVP. My wife, I mean, we've been married 20 years.
Oh, so you've been living in America?
I met my wife in
22
Brooklyn.
years in America.
Which city, which state?
We used to live in New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
Wow, wow, where the Sopranos are from.
Yeah.
Ah, I love that's my favourite show.
So, you know, it feels safer here
Nice.
than any place on earth. It's
It is,
amazing.
isn't it? Yeah. It's so safe, so clean. It's beautiful. Well, lovely to meet you guys. I better get on, finish this video.
Alright, take care.
But you'll be in it.
Bye.
Check out my page. Bye bye. Wow, look at that. So we're just walking down the street. I'm talking about the language, talking about English, and some people, a Russian woman, American guy, they've been married for 22 years, living in America, and they're coming to move here because it's safer, cleaner, and they were very, very friendly. Okay, I'm now outside Tretyakhovskaya metro after we spoke to those lovely people, the American man and his Russian wife. And the other point that I want to talk about is the Russian language. Now, I've studied the Russian language on and off for about 3 years. I was studying it before I came here. I was studying it during the pandemic in the UK when I couldn't do anything, I couldn't go to work. So I was doing lessons every day. So when I came here, I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it is. What I've found is that I can speak Russian okay, fairly normal. If I'm speaking to my teacher, we can speak for a whole hour in Russian, she'll correct me and help me. But when Russian people speak to me, or they speak to each other, it's very, very fast. So, what I've learned in the year that I've been here is the Russian language is way harder to learn than I ever thought it would be. So that's my first point. We spoke about the English language, spoke about the Russian language. Let's move on to point 2. Okay, my second point isn't so much about Russia, but I've certainly learned it since living in Russia for a year, and that is that only you can decide the life that you want. Once you make that decision, you've got to go for it. Don't live your life for what other people want or for what other people expect, or even society as a whole expects. Now let me elaborate on that. Now of course, when I first decided to come here, I spoke to some people that I know. No one was overly negative about it, but they see the news, they have preconceived ideas of a certain country, and they question why you want to go there, why do you want to live there, are you going to be safe, etc. Since I've came here to Russia, I've felt more at home, more content, more energized, and more inspired to do what I want to do and be who I want to be and say what I want to say than I ever have in any other country. And I've lived in America for a short time, I've lived in Australia, New Zealand, Scotland of course, Serbia, and all these places I never quite felt at home. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you take my YouTube channel for example, I've been thinking about doing something like this for a while. I used to, well I still do, but I used to buy properties, invest in it, and I would talk to the camera a little bit about that, and it made me realise that I enjoy talking on the camera, I enjoy telling people what I'm doing and maybe helping or inspiring people that maybe want to do something similar. And that was when I sort of started to first make little videos on Instagram, etc. But only, it was very niche and it was very much just for other people who were buying properties, investing in properties in Scotland or Glasgow. So if you think about my YouTube channel, I uploaded my first video about, well, it's exactly the 1st of April, I remember that. And now we're nearly at 20,000 subscribers. Lots of my videos have got over 100,000 views. I've met cool people, other people that make videos, or other people just on the street. And I don't think I would ever have done that if I was still living in Scotland. I still would have felt maybe a little bit embarrassed to do it. I would still have felt maybe that what I was talking about wasn't too interesting, or other people wouldn't be interested in it. But I've came here and I feel like a new lease of life, and I feel like I can be who I want to be and, you know, do exactly what I want to do. And it turns out that it is interesting to other people because other people are actually watching. So that's my second point. You've got to live the life that you want. Choose where you want to live, choose the type of people you want to be around. Don't listen to anyone else. The next one is that Russian people are some of the warmest, kindest people you could ever meet. And that goes against everything that we are taught in the West. When you think about the movies, when I was growing up in the 90s, there would always be like a Russian bad guy. They'd always be really cold, scary, dangerous. And I think people have that impression of Russian people. But let me put it this way. Russian people have got a culture in which they don't give a lot away, you know, emotionally to people that they don't know, okay? They also don't have that small talk culture of, you know, when you're in the UK, you're in a lift, an elevator, and you feel the need to speak to the person just to, you know, stop the silence. Or you're in the queue at the supermarket and the person behind you starts talking to you about the weather or some pointless conversation. Russian people don't have that. It just doesn't really exist here. But if you actually speak to a Russian person and you get past that first initial, we don't know you, why are you talking to me, what do you want from me, and you get to know them, they are some of the kindest, warmest people. The amount of people that have invited me to their house, offered to like show me around, just offered to help me out in different ways. Even just being stopped in the street when you're talking English, people seem to be curious. They seem to want to know where you're from, what you're doing, and they're very interested. They're interested in where you're from, they're interested in your culture, they're interested why you're here. And that's not in a suspicious way, it's in a curious way. So, trust me, I've been here, living here for 1 year. Russian people are some of the warmest, kindest, and curious people I've ever met. Alright, that leads on to number 4. The fourth point I want to talk about is not even if you're just moving to Moscow, but if you're moving anywhere. So obviously I turned up here, I did have a job, so you know I've got a social group from expats who work in the school, but I didn't know anybody outside of my job. The language, as I spoke about in the first part, yes, I can talk a little bit, but I'm certainly not very good, and I'm not very good at understanding what people are saying to me. So, the next point is, it's nobody else's job to help you. What do I mean by that? Well, when you come to another city, especially if you come to somewhere like Moscow, which is so vast, fast-paced, there's 20 million people here, everybody's busy, they've got a life, it's nobody else's job to help you. You've got to start making things happen for yourself. You've got to get out there, you've got to meet people. Nobody's coming looking for you to try and bring you into their social group. Nobody is going to chap on your door and just give you a life. You've got to make it happen for yourself. For example, starting this YouTube channel, even just from the YouTube channel, I've managed to meet different people who I would now class as my friends, from just going out, even from like dating, for example. Like you meet someone dating, but you don't particularly like them, or they don't particularly like you in a romantic way, but you remain friends. You've got to go out there and you've got to make it happen for yourself. You can't expect anyone to really care about your life as much as you care about it. Alright, as we come up onto this bridge, now I like this bridge, it's got the beautiful fountains on either side. The tourist boat, can you see the tourist boat down there? The red one. And then it's got these cool trees where all the lovers put their locks on there.
Отпустите руки и мощно отверхоте.
Alright guys, I just had to get past the loud music to give you the fifth and final point. Now I want to preface this by saying that I would never tell or ask anyone to believe what I believe. But in the same token, I will never believe or do what anyone else tells me. So, by the way, actually, can we stop here? I've heard about this. This is the monument to how children are affected by adult vices. So you've got the different vices. Here we've got drug addiction, prostitution, theft, alcoholism. Now you seem to have the children playing here blindfolded. But I actually heard about this, I didn't know it was here, I've just stumbled upon it and felt a little bit emotional. The children are just going through life, you know, blinded, playing. It's not their fault, they don't know what's happening and how these adult vices from parents, caregivers, etc. will affect these children in the future. Okay, so yeah, point 5, what I've already spoke about. I don't tell anybody else what to believe, but no one tells me what to believe. I make my own decisions. What I would say to you, and what I've learned about coming here, and how I feel that this city and these people they're nothing like how they've been portrayed to me my whole life in the media, in movies, etc. is make your own decisions. Take in all the information you can, not just from one source, not just from one side, and then make your decision. And that doesn't go for coming to Russia, coming to Moscow, going to any other city. That goes for absolutely everything, because people are going to try and influence you. They're going to try and influence what you believe. They're going to try and make you feel bad about believing a certain thing. You can't listen to the outside voices. You've got to listen to yourself. You've got to take in all the information from as many sources as you can, and if it's down to like talking about people, culture, or a city or country, go there. Go there. The amount of people in my comment section that say bad things that have never been here. So that's number 5. Make your own decisions. Don't listen to anyone else. Alright, as I walk along the river on this beautiful sunny Sunday in Moscow, we're going to leave it there. I've been living here for 1 year. I made a decision to change my life, and it was a good decision. So there you have it. If you're going to do something similar, then remember, make your own mind up. Don't listen to anyone else what you want to do with your life. Check out one of my other videos. I'll see you next time.